Warning, we are about to spoil Star vs. Force of Evil Season 3, Episodes 14 to 21. If you haven't seen the show and plan on watching it, leave now and come back later. But if you have seen the show, or you just don't care, then please stick around.
Wow, it's really fucking nice to have a season of this show, or at least half a season, that doesn't just emotionally cripple us in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. Today is the second half of a show that we have just had a hell of a time trying to get through. Like, Jesus Christ.
At least it didn't take us multiple weeks to get through this half. It only took us 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, because they decided to pull way back on the emotional, weight of everything. So...
They realized they might be emotionally scarring the children, so it was time to go back to being funny.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be here recording this today if it was just as heavy as the first half. So
no, we probably still would. We would have had to force it through due to current life events.
That would have sucked. So
that would have.
Oh, so thank God for that. Okay, but is there any other banter you want to do beforehand, or should we just get right the fuck into it?
Let's do the cool intro thing.
All right. This is Star versus the Forces of Evil, Season 3.
It's gonna get a little weird, gonna get a little wild. I ain't from around here, I'm from another dimension. Gonna get a little weird, gonna have a good time. I ain't from around here, I'm from another dimension.
Don't you just love going quiet?
Oh, breathe that quietness in. Just, oh, yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Glopgore.
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't you worry, lovely viewers.
Yeah, the one problem we have with... Well, the one problem I at least have with the season.
But yeah, this... It's still really fucking good, though. It does get decidedly more serious, especially towards the end of the season, and it's still going with the, whole heavily serialized thing, so...
Actually, it does kind of roll back a bit with the serialized thing, like Episode 14. Episode 14 is definitely a break after 13.
Yes, I concur.
Because that's about Stump Day, which is an obvious Christmas analog.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's Star, so there's a fun twist to it. But we'll get to that later.
I don't think analog was the right term, but I know what you're going for.
Don't care. It's correct now due to the English language being fucking stupid.
Analogy was the word you were looking for.
Metaphor.
That too.
Anyway, the quick summary of this. Okay, where did we leave off? We left off with Star's party, and we still have Eclipse's trial coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jumping past 14. So in episode 15, Star goes and bonds with her dad a bit. And then the second half is about the Queen and Eclipse, because Eclipse wants to know what the fuck happened to her daughter. No, trial's in this part, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's next episode. Okay. But, because last half of the season we found out Eclipse's daughter was Miss Heinous. So Eclipse wants to know what the fuck happened. And they go to the Magic Council's tower because there's a secret back room that archives literally everything that's happening.
Yep.
So they go in to try and figure out what the hell happened to her daughter. And when they do finally find it, it says Festivia was the next in line after Eclipse, but that's not true. It's even obviously stitched into the scroll because the main section was ripped out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So now, Eclipse is like, where the fuck is my daughter? What happened to my daughter? And who the hell is Festivia? Next episode, we get the trial. In the trial, they play Truth or Punishment again. Yeah, all the way back from season 1. Callbacks. It's fun.
Yes.
And we find out that Eclipse's daughter, well, once Eclipse was frozen, the king, her original king, because she decided to run off and be with a big sexy monster,
Yep.
which is who she had Meteora with. The king did not want Meteora and literally just taught. Well, hold on, do we find that out later?
Well, because they say that like they tossed her out, but
Yeah, they say that they tossed her out. And basically Eclipse gets out. Well, Eclipse is about to fail trial, but asks the High Council, like, okay, where the hell's my daughter?
yeah,
And all of them continue to lie until they finally admit that they just threw her out and then replaced her with someone else who has nothing to do with the Star Butterfly family.
Yeah, because she was technically a former queen of Muni. She got one question to answer, to ask to the court, and it was that: "Where's my daughter?"
Because red tape. No, it's not red tape. Fine print.
Fine print.
And this kind of brings up the thing. Something Star says where, she's not supposed to be the ruler.
We are recording again. Okay.
Actual technical difficulties for once. That's fun.
Been a while.
Been a while. Hopefully it doesn't happen again before the end of this.
Well, now that you said it.
No, okay, yeah, you're right. It definitely will happen again.
There you go.
Okay, so back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. Star finds out basically that their family shouldn't be the rulers. Due to being daughters of Festivia's tree, they are not actually part of the royal bloodline. And she kind of storms off. This, by the end of the season, is just kind of wrapped up like, actually, you can just keep the kingdom. Moving on.
Pretty much.
We cut back to Ludo. And for the next half of episode 16, we cut back to Ludo, who... Okay, this episode covers some heavy shit. We'll kind of get back to it, but due to not knowing much on the subject, we won't say too much.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually go back to Ludo's brother, Dennis, who we saw back in... Was it the beginning of the season?
It was the beginning of the season when Star and her mom were going through the woods and they had to hide out, so they hid out at their place.
Yeah, and they were trying to find Ludo to find Toffee. Or was that season 2?
No, that was the beginning of season 3.
Okay, making sure. But we see Dennis again, and Dennis goes to find Ludo. Ludo literally made his childhood home out of junk in the realm that Star threw him into back at the beginning of the season. And he's just snapped.
Mm-hmm.
He's made his parents out basically mannequins that no matter what you do, he will put back up.
It's really creepy, and all they wanted to seem to do is play charades.
But Dennis actually helps Ludo get over this. However, over the hatred he kind of has for his own family. Dennis tries to invite Ludo back, but Ludo says he has one other thing to finish, and we see once Dennis leaves, he opens a closet and there are 2 puppets or mannequins of Marco and Star, and we never get back to this.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode, the only real important thing is Buffrog kind of disappears. Star goes to find him, and then we find out all the monsters have just kind of given up on living with the humans.
Yep.
And go off to their own realm.
It's really sad.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking. It's a genuinely out of nowhere, just heartbreaking moment.
And the second part of this episode, Marco was parents fucked while he was gone, and he's having a little brother.
I joked at one point, I was like, the show has not exactly been shy about showing them having sex. Like, they have very highly, like,
Suggestive.
yeah, like it's very implied that in several scenes in season 1 that they're just fucking in so many different places. Like they're underneath a blanket and like giggling like hee at one point, and then like when they go into the Mumin forest and they're in like the hot tub or whatever, it's like they're naked. They fucked in that hot tub.
They did. The only reason I bring this up is because it might become important next season. Yeah. We'll see.
It's just, I find that whole thing funny because I'm just like, when that happened, like, oh, she's pregnant. Yeah, that's no surprise.
What a shock.
Yeah.
Next episode, we go back to Miss Heinous or Meteora. And, well, actually, we go back to the school where Ponyhead's trying to get in, but they have basically a test and she isn't allowed. Then Miss Heinous attacks. She has become much more of a monster form at this point.
Yeah, because, the whole thing is that Eclipsa, they had her Meteor together, and so she's half human, half monster. But I guess part of the monster powers is, like, she can suck the life force out of people, and then she just, like, grows bigger and stronger every time.
That isn't revealed till later, but hey, we told you to watch the episode or you get spoiled. So,
oops.
Oopsie poopsie.
Ruin the flow. Oh well, let's get back to it.
How dare you? But yeah, Meteor breaks it into school, fights off most of the students. Ponyhead thinks Meteor is coming out. What?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, it's my echo again. I have no idea how that is done.
I don't think we should try to understand it. It's a computer glitch. I mean, it could be anything.
I know, it just annoys the shit out of me though. Ponyhead thinks Meteor is going after her, but she turns off into a different room and turns on this robot that apparently raised her, and hacks into the robot's files to see what actually happened. Technically, she wasn't just thrown out. She was just given away to this robot and then horribly abused and raised to be the terrible person she was.
Yep. And they came up with the name because the robot like literally took a phrase literally, because the king said, "Oh, you can have this one. They're heinous," or whatever. And so the robot's like, "Oh, Miss Heinous, stored into database."
So she's a bit mad and basically puts everyone in the hospital because we can't murder people in a kid's show. We can't murder good guys in a kid's show.
Yeah. Toffee, on the other hand, he gets fucked.
Toffee is still super dead. He has not come back.
Nope. Nor have they hinted at all about it. So,
second half of 18, the only really important part is Marco and Star kiss.
Yep.
Even though Marco is dating Kelly at this point and Star is dating Tom.
Yep.
Because drama. There's a Ponyhead episode. It's not really important. She lost her horn to Miss Heinous in the last episode, but she gets it back.
She gets it back. Doesn't really change as a person. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless. It's just a wind down episode. Then we get back to the main plot. As Cameron said, Meteor started attacking like all the kingdoms and is eating people's souls, which turns them into balloon husks with black eyes.
It's creepy as fuck.
It comes up with some creepy fucking imagery. Star's mom Moon tries to fight Meteor, but right before she does the killing blow, Eclipsa stops her, and then Moon is hit by Meteor's soul stealing thing. Half of her eye is gone, the other half still has the magic twinkle, and she goes off into the portal that Star used earlier in the season to go to the magic world.
Yeah, she uses this to heal. It's essentially like, a video game fountain. You go rest in it and it heals you.
However, it takes away your memories, as we found out. Yep. Star becomes acting queen. Marco shows off that when he was with what's her name?
Hackapoo,
thank you.
Yep.
With his technical years with Hekapu, he was trained to be pretty badass, and Star sends him to go slow down Meteor, who is slowly making her way to the castle as she travels to the magic world to find her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Marco forms a team with Tom, the super cool Eagle dude, Hekapu, and Kelly. Who else was there?
Tom,
I thought I said Tom.
did you? You might have.
I might have. But yeah, that's people together, fight Meteora. It doesn't go well.
Mhm.
Basically, everyone gets their soul stolen, even Marco. Tom doesn't because he, as established earlier in the season, he has over 1,000 angry souls inside him.
Yeah.
But also, every time Meteor takes a soul, she gets bigger and bigger. Star gets trapped with her mother in the magic world because even though she set up multiple contingency plans, the magic overtakes her and she becomes forgetful.
Mm-hmm.
However, the unicorn she made way back when she first came there, lots of callbacks,
There are.
teleports the mother somewhere and then teleports Star back home.
Yeah, we never do find out what happened to the mother.
We'll find out next season. Big battle happens as Meteor reaches the kingdom. Everything is basically lost, and Star and Tom become the only ones who haven't had their souls taken. Like, we literally see just the husks of everyone float by,
Mm-hmm.
which is super fucked.
Oh, it was fucked.
But Star and Tom was about to take Star to hide in the underworld just so Meteor would never get to them.
Yeah.
And she says, fuck it, and goes back to fight in her super powerful form. There's a big fight with Star and Meteora. Eclipsa also hadn't been drained because Star locked her up, assuming that it's Eclipse, because technically it's Eclipse's fault her mother got drained.
Mm-hmm.
Eclipsa comes in at the last minute and takes Star's wand and uses it to try and kill Meteor, but instead, due to not wanting to be super dark and make one of the characters murder their own daughter, technically,
Mm-hmm.
she reverts Meteor back to a baby, tells Star that she can keep the kingdom, and goes back to find her. We see her go find her husband, who was also frozen to a block, so he's just like 50 foot tall monster. We'll probably have to deal with that later.
You're forgetting one detail. Star gave her the wand and said she could keep the kingdom.
Yeah, but then did she give the wand back? I forget.
No, she didn't. She took it.
No, she took the wand. Okay. But then she's like, you can kind of keep the kingdom, and takes the wand and then goes.
Yeah, she goes off to her own kingdom or whatnot.
And then we find out Glossric was lying the whole time, and he was just saying Globgor because that's the husband of Eclipsa.
Yep.
Which, thanks Glossric, you fuck.
Yeah.
And due to Meteor being shrunk back down, everyone gets their soul back, so things are okay. But Moon is still lost.
Yep. And that's where the season ends.
With a blatant cliffhanger.
Yep.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible. Like, everything was still wrapped up, but I still feel like it needed just slightly more.
It could tie things up a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, it leaves a lot open. It's just almost slightly too open.
Yeah, it's a bit open to the point where it doesn't feel as satisfying as it could be.
Mhm.
A lot of satisfaction comes from how fucking cool the fight scenes are.
That was fucking amazing. Oh, the animation takes a huge step up in this season.
Anime.
So where should we even start? Let's try to organize these thoughts that we have.
Maybe we should start with the bad.
Let's get that
because
out of the
there's
way.
a little bit of it.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I think for me personally, though, the biggest and most glaring issue was the Pony Hat episodes.
Well, the one where we find out Miss Haynes' backstory is fine.
Yeah, that one's cool because that was unexpected. Like, Miss Haynes just kind of shows up like, sup fuckers.
Yeah. But But yeah, the episode where Ponyhead no is pouting over not having her horn and learns by watching a bad soap opera that maybe she should just get over it. It's kind of lame.
It is. It's just so we can show, hey, Ponyhead's not dead and she got her horn back. Yay.
Cool.
There were some good jokes. There was some really good slapstick as per usual. But
Yeah, there was a few good jokes, but there's after a moment like that, you kind of want to stick with the story. I didn't really want to break like that. It just felt unnecessary.
yeah, I agree.
You could have literally had Ponyhead show up again during the either next season or during the finale bit and be like, oh yeah, Ponyhead was on Marco's team. That's who I was forgetting.
Yep. Yeah, you could have just had her show up and be like, yo guys, check out this new horn I got. And there you go.
There you go. The twist with Glossric, while I guess it's in character, is still just like, even for him, that's a bit of too much of a dick move.
Yeah, it's like I was like, Glossric, I just want to fucking slap you in the face. Jesus Christ.
Which also, that means he started doing this right after Star like poured her heart out to him and then just decided, oh, I'm just gonna fuck with her for months.
Yeah. Because he came back and he was clearly capable of saying other words. Because when Star held her up to her mom and she was like, her family, she's like, he's back. He went, yo. But
no, he needed to do the joke. Also, he's voiced by Keith David now.
yeah.
So
And was just saying, it's like, it makes us so happy that Keith David was paid just to say Globglor throughout almost the entire season.
I still don't know how I feel about Star Kit and Marco kissing.
It wasn't horribly done, but especially after like the biggest problem with that is how they've been setting it up basically throughout the rest of the season. Like Tom and Star's dynamic and that harsh message with Marco and them being like boyfriend, girlfriend, stuff like that, and seemingly being content. Yeah.
Well, another problem is that the episode before, like in the same episode, because Tom, when the monsters leave to another realm, Marco let Tom tag along because he hadn't been allowed to hang out with Star a lot, even though he's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And Star brings up like that because she feels like a failure due to the monsters just leaving. But Tom brings up like, hey, he's technically a monster, and if they can work it out, they can probably work it out in the kingdom. Yep. So you just add this new dynamic to their relationship, and then an episode later, Marco kisses Star as building that relationship back up. It's like, why?
Yeah. And like I said, it wasn't handled horribly. Like it wasn't just, oh, they kiss and everything's fine. No, it's really awkward, and it's him completely overstepping his bounds, and that's not cool. But it's just
Star's also kind of into it, and but she feels weird about it. And it's like, I'd much rather have the dynamic of seeing Marco grow with Kelly, and then Tom and Star's relationship slowly grow as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how that is in fact handled, because we haven't seen season 4 yet. We don't know where it's going to go. So,
or do we?
Dun dun dun.
Besides that, I think that's the only real issues with this.
Yeah, there's not much. It's still really, really fucking good overall.
Yeah. Okay, so where do we start with the good?
Because there's a lot. You know what? Let's just. Is there anything else you want to say on the story before we get into the technical aspects? Because,
story-wise, the use of Eclipsa is fantastic. I like there's a lot of good world building done throughout the episodes.
Yeah, like they introduce characters and then like have some callbacks to him, like the swamp guy from the Hunt episode. He comes back.
Yeah, the episode where Star and her father bond a bit in this half of the season. There's this swamp guy who knows all about the monsters, and he appears again later on during the finale.
All of the side characters and all the world building that does is just fantastic as usual.
Yeah. Meteor is honestly kind of an understandable villain to a point.
Yeah. It's like she has a motivation that's not just raw, I'm evil.
And it's not just raw, I'm evil. It's this kingdom literally was ripped away from me because of fucking racism.
Yeah, exactly. So, wow, 3-dimensional villains. It's so nice to see that.
Star doesn't trust the High Council at fucking all.
Oh, no.
Because they lied about Meteora.
I love that she's
yeah,
Meteora and, Eclipsa, but
Eclipsa.
yeah, it's like she's done with them. It's like, after the trial episode, they come back, they're like, "What are you doing here? We're consulting you." No, get out. Don't need you. You're a bunch of liars. Fuck you.
We don't need liars in here. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. So, yeah, all three of them. Who's the snake arm guy again?
I just call him Snake Arm Guy. I always forget his name.
It was I'll know it once I hear it. It's them, the weird spirit in the globe or whatever in Hekapoo.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, I just fucking love Eclipse as a character.
Oh, Eclipse! I hope we get more of her in season
Yeah.
4. She's so fun.
She's great. She's a fantastic character, and her voice actress is so good. She's very British, and it's just great. I still love the moment where they're going through the dungeon. She's like, "Come on in here. It's so dirty." She's just fun. She cracks wise a lot and just kind of has this chill vibe to her.
Yeah, I like how she's just casually evil at times.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And I thought that one scene with Marco was kind of cute. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, this is my defense pose." "Oh, that's adorable."
I like the scene where when they're when her and Moon are breaking into the archive because Eclipse isn't supposed to be out before the trial.
Yeah.
One of the guards catches them and is about to report them. It just fucking tells Moon, "Oh, use your mind erase spell." Just be like, "Forget, bet," and then pew pew.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'm not just gonna go forget pew pew," and then accidentally does it.
She basically does it to the guy and basically makes him comatose.
Oh, it's great.
It's so dark. It's fantastic. Oh, I love her so much. Yeah, everyone's pretty well done. Marco's well done as well. Just everyone in general, their character, they have some really good arcs. But like I said, our biggest issue is just kind of how they're handling Star and Marco so far. But all the other ones are done fantastically.
Also, I am happy that Marco is back to actually being as smart as he normally is.
Yeah, as smart and useful as he normally is. The little duel scene between him and Star was awesome.
Oh yeah, when he's proving himself to Star that he could actually handle himself.
Because that was one of the things I loved about the show right from the get-go, is that, the secondary character, or the secondary protagonist, I should say, wasn't just completely useless. Like, "Oh my god, what's going on here?" No, he handles his own against all the monsters. He knows karate, and he beats the shit out of things. He's super useful and super fine with it.
Yeah, all the characters do a great job with voice acting, especially Meteor, just being kind of still keeping enough humor in, but also being this pretty threatening character. It is a bit hard to take her seriously at first when she's starting to grow because they don't add anything to her voice, so it's just Miss Archer yelling.
Yeah, it's literally like we jokingly throughout the show just said, because it's like, "Oh, Miss Heinous," and we're just like, "Oh, it's Miss Archer."
It's the same voice. But when she grows bigger, it actually gets sort of the added bass to her voice.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It is cool, yeah, because when she grows, you would think, added boom to voice. But yeah, I guess it's over a certain height that they do it. And then finally they tone down her voice and it actually sounds really threatening.
Yeah. And the kind of downer part is the day we're recording this, the actress for Miss Haynes and Miss Archer passed away.
Yeah, she passed away yesterday as of this recording, and that just kind of hurt a lot. Jessica Walter. So, like
Yeah,
that.
she is a funny ass actress,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we will cover her again because we do want to cover Archer
Yes.
at some point.
Like she's really good, and I, don't want to put it this way, but she's really good at playing the bitchy character, and just that type of humor that she brings is hilarious.
Her deadpan humor is just fucking funny.
It is. She's really good. So and just her voice, like you can always tell her voice. She has a very unique voice. So
Yeah, so she will definitely be missed.
yeah, rest in peace, Jessica Walter. You were fucking awesome, and that hurt even more because we were both just like, we just watched her, we just saw her.
Literally just finished this.
Man. So yeah, that was a huge downer before this little session.
I don't know where to go because okay, that's kind of the main story stuff covered.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just dive into the animation. The animation is fucking fantastic.
Oh my god, it's anime levels of so well done during the fight scenes, especially.
It so is. Like the scene that like kind of had my jaw dropping was when Queen Mooney and Miss Haynes, but Meteora was fighting, and then like she does the laser thing, and then Eclipsa jumps up, grabs her cheeks glowing, like you see like the lightning going like to the side as she's hugging her and going up. It's just such a cool ass image.
Yeah, it just silhouettes over her. It's so cool.
And then when they're in the the weird magic world or whatever, I love some of that trippy fucking imagery. It's just gorgeous to look at.
Oh yeah, the magic world, like that was so well designed with the idea that it's supposed to be a place that makes you forget and lost in its own like mysticism.
Yeah.
The jellyfish, especially the jellyfish coming out of the sea of magic.
It was so gorgeous.
Doing water is hard. I know. I'm not an animator, but even I know that, and it looks so fucking good here.
Yeah, and like they have like yellow water or whatever, and like as there's part like there's like waterfalls that flow backwards and go up, and like you can jump into them and it'll like suck you into the sky, and just the way like the water flows and everything, it looks so nice.
So good.
And then my god, that final fight scene in the castle was so fucking cool.
Oh
my god.
Especially when Eclipsa uses her dark magic. Just her wand looks fucking cool being the classy ass umbrella. It's just it feels massive whenever the magic is used.
Hell yes. And she just owns Meteora. Just like Jesus, she was a powerful wee magic user.
Oh, I did bring this up after we watched it. It's like, why didn't Star just go to the person who knew all the most powerful spells in the book?
Like, that was just a tiny bit of a plot hole. It doesn't, like, ruin the season, but it's kind of there. Like, why didn't we just go to her in the first place to kind of help, you know?
I mean, there is a very easy fix with this.
Mm-hmm.
Have Marco bring that up, and then Star go, yes, but also it's her Dar, so I don't know if she'd use it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like it's shown that she has an emotional connection to her, even when she's fucking gigantic monstrosity. So,
yeah, because before Moon fights Meteor, Eclipsa does try to talk her down, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, like it starts going well, but then she says like, "Yeah, we can't have the kingdom. It's not that simple." Then it just goes,
it's not ours anymore.
Yeah, it just goes haywire. And then I love when she starts demanding. It's like, no, you get back here right now.
Oh, also, I forgot to say, Miss Haynes killed both her goons because the snake guy with the robo arm grew back, and her one-eyed follower was also a robot, and she literally rips out his heart and just lets him die.
It's pretty fucking metal.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Like, I get he's a robot, but still, it is. She's literally ripping out their hearts.
But yeah, just I think adding that one line of understanding why Star wouldn't go back to Eclipsa, even though you can mentally imply it, it would be nice to have it there.
Yeah, it'd be nice to, bring it up as a theme, or at least an official theme. So,
Yeah. Well, there's a good segue here. Speaking of themes.
yeah, we need to address that at some point.
Yeah, okay.
Is this the episode?
Well, the systemic racism theme that we talked about in the last part is still very much a theme here.
Oh, yeah.
The whole reason Eclipsa was frozen and Miss Heinous was treated the way she was due to the racism in the, I was about to say the Muniverse. It felt silly.
Nice.
But yes, that's still very much a strong theme, and due to the monsters leaving, I'm sure it will come back in the next season.
Yeah, so we have that to look forward to. Like we said in the previous episode, this isn't something that can just be glanced over. Like, this isn't, we're just implying racism. No, this is an overt theme of the show that plays heavily into the story.
And the second theme, actually, trigger warning here, there is going to be a quick little discussion about child abuse. If this is a lot for you, please skip ahead to
41:32.
Yeah, so
Cut.
there's an episode in the show, and I'll just straight up say it talks about child abuse.
Yes, the episode with Ludo's brother of Dennis. The reason Dennis goes to find Ludo is because he always looked up to Ludo. Ludo's his older brother, even though Dennis is like 10 feet taller than him.
He's his older brother, and he was the only one that had the balls to leave, so he kind of idolizes him.
Yeah, and Dennis's parents literally just take pleasure in berating him.
Yeah.
We see them tear him down and just be absolute fucking monsters to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he overcomes it is once Ludo keeps trying to push this facade of their mannequins or their models, Dennis just snaps and like fights back.
Yeah, it's very just that whole implication that, it is a metaphor, and he's just beating up the parents and taking out probably years of pent-up frustration out on it, and this being a very cathartic thing. And at the end of the episode, he's like, I don't know if I have the strength to do it without you. And he's like, you just did. So it's a very literal metaphor for overcoming this horrible abuse. And it's really fucking heavy.
It really is. And they do try to hit, because even though this is a show that talks about racism, I think they knew that child abuse could be really fucking hard for some kids to handle.
Yeah.
That they do kind of keep it still, they throw in enough jokes to keep it from going too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't go too far where it hurts the tone of the message they are trying to say.
That episode was done in very much Adventure Time or Steven Universe metaphor type thing. So where it wasn't overt.
Universe.
What?
You said universe weird. You were like universe.
Oh, whoops. But yeah, it's kind of that way of doing things where it's very much implied. Like it's a lot of metaphors and a lot of, stuff like that so that you can kind of infer, oh, that's what this is about.
Yeah, you said this where because when Dennis does finally snap, he goes over all the because Ludo keeps trying to say that his parents are still good people and that they love you type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And Dennis finally snaps and says all the shit they put him through, and at one point mentions his father loving scratch and sniff stickers, like having a weird obsession with it. And you even said that this might be reading too far into it, but it could be symbolic of drugs.
Yeah, it could literally be a metaphor for drug uses, because he's like, oh, all my dad does is just sit there with his scratch and sniff, quote unquote. I'm just like,
Because we can't say... Yeah, because I don't know what you could have said for alcohol. It's like...
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, just overall really heavy episode, and the way that how it completely develops Dennis in 15 minutes is beyond impressive.
It really I'll say this with Cowboy Bebop. I was always impressed that they were able to have episodes with or characters in there only one time and goes through an entire arc. It's you feel every emotional beat for them. This show was able to do that in a 15-minute segment. That's impressive as hell.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how well they were able to flesh out Dennis in that short amount of time. It's so good, and just a testament to how fantastic the writers are of this show.
Honestly. And also we do talk a bit again about we do show a bit more of child abuse again when seeing Meteora's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Like how her robot mother just basically anytime Meteora would do something that made her happy was immediately snuffed out as being not proper and not a good thing to do.
Yep, which makes all the, self, putting herself like in the self-torture scenes in season 1 and 2, that just makes those implications all the more disturbing.
And there might be even more, but we do not know.
Yeah.
We don't know too much on the topic.
Either way, it's a really heavy topic that was covered really well, and
Especially for a kid's show.
Especially for a kid's show. That's about all we can say on the matter, because like we said at the beginning, we don't really know too much on the subject, but we know enough about it that we can feel we can cover it, at least that brief amount.
Yeah. Fuck, how do we segue off this?
I don't even know. I just want to say too, I'm still shocked at some of the creepy ass imagery they got away with. Like that just straight up Nightmare on Elm Street Glossaric episode was still just terrifying to me because it came right the fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, the Halloween episode with Billy West as the little ghost guy. Okay, I could see that getting fucked. It's a Halloween episode, but this was just a normal story episode. I didn't expect these straight up horror sequences. My God.
Or just the shots of the husks with Meteor. Again, there's a moment near the end where Star and Tom are about to head down to hell, and you just see them blow slowly in the wind. There's just a sky of soulless husks.
It is so genuinely unnerving to see. And oh god, the worst for me was when they entered the castle and you open the doors and just their empty husks face eyes were just all looking at you floating there. I was just like,
yeah, and it's like filled to the brim with them. There's crowds of people just floating.
Oh, it's so disconcerting. Oh man, I hate it.
But yeah, for kids.
Yeah, they're not dead. It's just their souls have been sucked out of their bodies and they're basically just husks of what was formerly a person. But they float.
Disney.
See? Yeah. They all float here. God. But soundtrack is also good as usual. Like it's the usual standard of quality for Star, frankly.
Honestly,
there's not much else to say on that, really.
I do want to talk just slightly about the Stump Day episode.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Because Stump Day, it's the Christmas metaphor or whatever. But in this, the whole setup is Muni was the kingdom that Star is part of was found because a bunch of people had to take shelter during a snowstorm, and all they had was a stump to basically block the wind from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they all grew to become friends, even though they hated each other beforehand. And the way is you do not disrespect the stump, otherwise it will come and kill you. But it's also Star's birthday, so they try to so Marco tries to throw her birthday, and it well, of course, it turns out Stump Day, even though everyone says it's a myth, Stump Day turns out to be true.
Yep.
And the stump comes to almost kill them, and probably my favorite joke of just this ending half is that they all hold hands and then it disappears, and Marco's like, wow, I guess it understood that we did respect it and that we were friends. And Star just goes, no, it's past midnight, Stump Day is over. He was totally going to kill us.
Such a dark and hilarious joke. Oh, it's great.
That episode was a very much needed one-off that didn't get too heavy.
Yes, exactly. Like, it didn't feel too out of place with the rest of the season.
Also, the joke in the second half where it's inside Star's wand and they're celebrating Stump Day, and the spell that Marco used to see Star in the magic world of the all-seeing eye is now in there, and it's just an eye that floats ominously and just kind of goes.
There's always like a hum whenever it comes on screen.
All the music cuts and you just hear the hum, which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's great because it's like, they're inside all the magic creatures, yeah, hey, and the lifting guys, and da 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 da, and then all of a sudden it's just like, nerd. It's okay, it's just the all-seeing eye. Nerd.
Where is he? He's in the hole.
Yes. Oh, but yeah, just overall a really, really strong finish to the second half of what was, frankly, this whole season was just fucking incredible. I don't even know how else to put it. This was the best season so
This is
far.
probably going to be the best season.
My God. I'm just shocked at, how much it just did not care. It emotionally crushed you. It didn't give a fuck in the first half. Fuck you. We're taking your heart. We're beating it up in front of you. Fuck you.
Fuck everything. Cry, bitch.
Yeah. And then the second half, it's just like picks you up. It's like, okay, here you go. Back to story. Fuck you.
Back to story. You can calm down. I'm just kidding. Here's a slap. Okay,
Yeah.
we're moving on.
Pretty much. Just had to get one more in there before it wrapped everything up. And I'm just blown away at, again, just how well it covers the subjects of racism and, child abuse and stuff like that. Just how well it deals with these heavy, heavy ass themes.
And explains it in a way that kids can understand,
Yeah.
which is very commendable.
It's incredible. And it's like, I didn't expect this when I went into Star versus the Forces of Evil. Like, dear Lord.
Yeah, I expected just a fun comedy show with maybe some heavy themes. No, this is just way more than I expected, and it's fantastic.
It's great. It genuinely caught me off guard. And this is just one of the best seasons of children's television I've watched in a long time. So
Shout Factory, release it already, please.
please do. I love
I'll
this
pay
show.
80
I want to have it.
$80. I will
yeah.
pay it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because Gravity Falls is what, 60 for the Blu-ray, or was it 80?
It might be 80 at this
Yeah.
point.
Hell, I'd pay 100. It's 4 seasons.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's like, guys, Shout Factory, please. Can you do what you did for Gravity Falls? I know Gravity Falls had a much bigger fan base, but
Come on, please.
please. I'm just blown away at how just good this was. I really hope season 4 keeps up the quality. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I can say. I do hope it wraps it up satisfactory. Because we've heard things that we're not going to get into, but we will see if we like it or not. It just comes down to
Yeah,
that.
some fans don't like it, so we'll see.
Overall,
But
just
yeah, I think that's it for season 3.
yeah, just highly recommended. Absolutely, so far so good. This show is incredible.
Yeah, if you haven't caught up on just watching a show yourself, you can, because you're going to have some time, since it will be time to spin the short series wheel, because if you're new here, we do a short TV series in between each long season of a TV show. We have 6 left, with Pushing Up Daisies, Over the Garden Wall, Flash Forward, Constantine, or Teen, I always forget how to say it properly, Death Parade, and Monster Musume, or Everyday Life with Monster Girl. So,
Oh boy, it's been a while, guys. So
it is time to spin. Ooh, it was right there. But we are going to do Over the Garden Wall.
Ooh, interesting.
And I will say right now, that will probably be only one episode, so we're going to have a topic wheel after that because we want a bit of a break from Star.
Did you say like the whole season was like movie length?
Yeah, it was basically shorts that aired every day on Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
Well, not as short. 15 minutes, I think.
Neato.
But yeah, if you want to watch that show, it is currently available on HBO Max, or you can buy the DVD.
Yep. For some reason, US doesn't get the Blu-ray.
Yep, don't know why.
It's like that for a lot of
Cartoon
kids
Network
shows.
hates us.
Yeah. But yeah, stay tuned for those, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you next time.
Or we won't. I don't know.
Well, who knows?
It'd be nice if you stuck around, though.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it, guys.